All right, so to do your project, you're going to want to make an outline of the animal you're doing. I chose to do the golden retriever. And so I'm going to make a curved line for its head. And then it's got two bumps, and the ears kind of curve down. And I'm not worrying a lot right now about how perfect my lines are. I'm just trying to get the basic shapes on the paper. I can go back and add more stuff later on. His ear kind of comes up along here. You want to make sure that this line that I just drew here connects up here to the top of his head. You want to make sure you always know where your lines are going. And right here, this line here, bottom of his ears, doesn't look like it matches up. So I'm going to use my ruler. And you see this one, if I put it at the bottom of this ear, this other ear over here is a lot higher up. So I'm just going to use my eraser to make sure those ears line up in my drawing the way they do in the picture. There's another line there. And then I'm going to look over here, and on the picture, I can tell there's a big line that comes all the way down to the ear. It's easiest to draw lines that connect first rather than starting out in the middle. And his mouth kind of goes up and then curves down. And again, this is all really, really sketchy lines here. I'm not worrying too much about the details yet. And he's got another line here for the bottom of his lip. And then his nose, which ends right about the top of this line. It's big, and it's not exactly even. Gonna add 2 holes for his nostrils. Again, I can go back and work on that later. And he's got 2 lines up here, right by the side of his eyes. It's easier for me to do the lines by his eyes first, and then do the eyes themselves. His eye is almost a circle, but not exactly. It's got kind of a rounded, pointy end over here. And then another circly eye. This one looks a little bit more circly, so I'm going to draw a sketchy circle first. And now I can double check and see if the eyes are lined up the way they're supposed to. And they're not really. So I'm going to move this eye down a little bit. That's one of the things when you're doing art. Sometimes you mess up. Sometimes your brain doesn't see things the way the picture actually looks. And that's why you always want to draw really light when you start. So then I can go back and add some of those details. I have some black colored pencils with me today just to show you what this really should look like. So I'm going to just show you on his nose and some of his fur, and then you can go back and get started on your own. I don't want this video to be all you end up doing today. I'm going to outline his nose in black because if I look at the black on the golden retriever in the picture, he's got a big black outline on his nose. And that dark black line kind of goes in like that. And then I'm going to outline his nostrils. And this one's a little bit higher up. And I'm changing the way I kind of sketched in that shape a little bit because as I'm doing it a second time, I see more details. I'm going to add a dark line there because he has a dark line in the picture. And then this is darker down here, so I'm going to color a little bit darker. I'm going to add some dots. He has some little tiny dots. And then I'm going to color in a lighter shade of gray. I'm going to make it really, really light right underneath his nostril because it's almost white. It's got some shine there. And there's some shine on the top of his nose too. It's not completely white. So I'm just going to go over super, super light so that my eye tells that there's a difference. And there's a little bit of white right underneath this nostril as well. And it's darkest right there. When I go to do his hair, I'm going to use small lines. You want to make sure that you're able to tell what texture your animal is just by the lines you use. So when I do his lines, it's going to be all little tiny zigzag lines. This one's actually a little bit smoother, but over here we've got lots of little zigzags. So how close together you put your lines and how dark you make them is going to be what shows shadow and line and shine in your picture. All right, so I'm going to stop there so you can get started. I hope you can see the difference just by going back over and doing those details. So sketch your picture first and then go back and add line, shine, and shadow details. Can't wait to see what you do. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.